Good evening, class. I'm Mr. Renner. This is Miss.
Kinnaman.
So today we are working on throwing a football. What you're going to need is a football, some cones, a target, and some dice. And that is an image of you running with a football. So the class overview for today is we're going to start off with a warm up and get your blood pumping, get you working to start the class, and then we're going to do a health activity, which explains some much needed tips of staying healthy. We're going to work on our activities, and then we have a combination of the activities we created put together. We also have a closure. Then we will have an assessment at the end, and then we will talk about next class. So to start, we have a warm-up activity. I'm going to roll a dice, and for 30 seconds, you're going to do one of six of the whatever the dice lands on. You do one of six of these exercises. So let's start. We're going to do it 6 times. So roll the dice.
I think you have to hit it to stop it. Or maybe it stops on it. I don't know.
5. All right, so go ahead and start. Number 5 is squats. So go ahead and do squats for 30 seconds. I start the timer right about now. Good job, guys. Now we're going to give you guys a 10-second break. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now let's see what the next activity is. 3, planks. So for 30 seconds, you're doing planks. And I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. Good job, guys. So now we're getting another 10-second break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job, guys. Now let's go ahead and do the next one. Boom. 4, sit-ups. So for 30 seconds, you're going to be doing sit-ups. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. Keep up the good work, guys. You guys got 3 more activities. So go ahead and here's a 10-second break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys. Let's do another one. 4. So sit-ups again. You guys can go ahead and begin doing sit-ups one more time now. Okay, good job, guys. So here's another activity. Let's see what it's gonna be. Let's do something else. We're not gonna do sit-ups again. 2, run in place. So I forgot about your 10-second break. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now for 30 seconds, you're running in place. You guys can go ahead and get started on that right now. Okay, guys, good job. One more activity, and then we're going to move on to our health activity for today. 6 leg stretches. So after your 10-second break, which I'll start now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys. So this is your last activity. It's nice, easy, some easy leg stretching. Just go ahead and get started on that right now. Alrighty, good job, guys. I hope you guys got some good work in. You get your blood pumping, get you ready for. All right. So for I didn't skip a slide, did I? Okay. For our health activity for today, we're going to be talking about benefits of water for our bodies. We're going to watch a video that explains the benefits of water that has on your bodies and why you should be drinking tons and tons of water. So.
Water is virtually everywhere, from soil moisture and ice caps to the cells inside our own bodies. Depending on factors like location, fat index, age, and sex, the average human is between 55 and 60% water. At birth, human babies are even wetter. Being 75% water, they are swimmingly similar to fish. But their water composition drops to 65% by their first birthday. So what role does water play in our bodies? And how much do we actually need to drink to stay healthy? The H2O in our bodies works to cushion and lubricate joints, regulate temperature, and to nourish the brain and spinal cord. Water isn't only in our blood. An adult's brain and heart are almost 3/4 water. That's roughly equivalent to the amount of moisture in a banana. Lungs are more similar to an apple at 83%, and even seemingly dry human bones are 31% water. If we are essentially made of water and surrounded by water, why do we still need to drink so much? Well, each day we lose 2 to 3 liters through our sweat, urine, and bowel movements, and even just from breathing. While these functions are essential to our survival, we need to compensate for the fluid loss. Maintaining a balanced water level is essential to avoid dehydration or overhydration, both of which can have devastating effects on overall health. At first detection of low water levels, sensory receptors in the brain's hypothalamus signal the release of antidiuretic hormone. When it reaches the kidneys, it creates aquaporins, special channels that enable blood to absorb and retain more water, leading to concentrated dark urine. Increased dehydration can cause notable drops in energy, mood, skin moisture, and blood pressure, as well as signs of cognitive impairment. A dehydrated brain works harder to accomplish the same amount as a normal brain, and it even temporarily shrinks because of its lack of water. Overhydration, or hyponatremia, is usually caused by overconsumption of water in a short amount of time. Athletes are often the victims of overhydration because of complications in regulating water levels in extreme physical conditions. Whereas the dehydrated brain amps up the production of antidiuretic hormone, the overhydrated brain slows or even stops releasing it into the blood. Sodium electrolytes in the body become diluted, causing cells to swell. In severe cases, the kidneys can't keep up with the resulting volumes of dilute urine. Water intoxication then occurs, possibly causing headache, vomiting, and in rare instances, seizures or death. But that's a pretty extreme situation. On a normal day-to-day basis, maintaining a well-hydrated system is easy to manage for those of us fortunate enough to have access to clean drinking water. For a long time, conventional wisdom said that we should drink 8 glasses a day. That estimate has since been fine-tuned. Now, the consensus is that the amount of water we need to imbibe depends largely on our weight and environment. The recommended daily intake varies from between 2.5 to 3.7 liters of water for men and about 2 to 2.7 liters for women, a range that is pushed up or down if we are healthy, active, old, or overheating. While water is the healthiest hydrator, other beverages, even those with caffeine like coffee or tea, replenish fluids as well. And water within food makes up about 1/5 of our daily H2O intake. Fruits and vegetables like strawberries, cucumbers, and even broccoli are over 90% water and can supplement liquid intake while providing valuable nutrients and fiber. Drinking well might also have various long-term benefits. Studies have shown that optimal hydration can lower the chance of stroke, help manage diabetes, and potentially reduce the risk of certain types of cancer. No matter what, getting the right amount of liquid makes a world of difference in how you'll feel, think, and function day to day.
So what are we learning? So for our next slide, we're going to be talking about what are we learning today. Today we will learn how to throw a football, showing proper mechanics of throwing the football, finger pads, making an L shape with the arms. With whatever dominant arm you have, step forward, turn your palm out on the follow through for accuracy at a large target outside or in the gym. So this is what Miss Jill's going to start.
So for activity 1, I have a teacher demonstration down here.
Would you like me to start that first?
Yes, start it first. So we're gonna learn how to throw the football today. You're gonna grab the football at the top of the football. You're gonna hold it almost like you're holding a drink, like you were gonna drink it. You wanna have a couple fingers, like your pinky, depending on the size of the ball and the size of your hand, how many you would have on the laces, and you just want your finger pads on the laces. Your index finger kind of at the end of the ball, and your thumb underneath. And you want it to be up where you have a U shape, a little space between your hand and your palm. Then you want to bring the ball up high, past your shoulder up, making an L shape with your arm up by your ear. And we're going to kind of turn to the side, arm still high up, and we are going to step with our non-dominant foot forward towards our target. And then we are going to turn our palms out, follow through, and then our arm should land at the non-dominant hip, almost at the pocket. And those are the cues of how to hold and throw a football. So we, as I demonstrated, holding the football, you grip the top of the ball, holding it like a soda can. You put 3 to 4 fingers on the laces using your finger pads to hold the laces. And then the throwing action is just stretching your arm way back towards your ear, kind of looking like you are making a phone call. The arm makes a L shape. The stance is your legs are shoulder width apart. And then you're taking a short, medium step toward towards your target with your non-dominant foot. And then the release the follow through action is to turn your palms out, ball comes off the index finger, and arm comes down and lands across your body on the non-dominant hip.
So we're gonna learn how to throw the football today.
So for, I guess we'll do the demonstration first and then I'll explain what you're gonna do.
All right, now that we learned the elements of throwing, we're going to practice just going through the steps without throwing the ball, but holding on to the ball. So have a good grip on the ball, pull it up by our ear, make the L shape with our arm, or step forward, turn our palms out, follow through, ends at our hip. We're just gonna keep practice doing that.
So when the timer reaches 30, we're going to just practice the steps of throwing the football, so using the proper mechanics. So we will start that now. All right, good job. Let's move on to the next progression. All right, we'll show you my demo and then I'll tell you what you're doing.
So now we're going to distance throw a short pass using the same elements of throwing that we already walked through, about 15 feet away from our target. Target is the door, so it's a large target to hit or aim for, and we're going to use the same cues or elements to throw. Good grip, finger pads on the laces, arm makes an L shape, up high, turn your step forward, turn your palms out, follow through. Your hand should end up at your non-dominant hip. So it should kind of look like this. We're going to practice that for 5 minutes.
All right, students, so we are going to practice the short pass. So be like 15 feet from your target. Pick a large target. We're basically just trying to get the technique down. We're not so worried about accuracy right now. And we're gonna practice that for 5 minutes. So you can go practice that and come back in 5 minutes. Go ahead.
When it hits the timer, it's 3:30. Yeah.
right, time's up. Let's move on to the next activity. All right, let's watch the demonstration that I do that also will tell you what you need to do next.
Okay, now we're gonna do the long pass. So we're about 30 feet from our target. The cues and elements of throwing are the same, except for now you're gonna use more force and power to make the throw. And you're gonna get more power from your legs and your arms. So then we're gonna use the same elements for throwing. Finger pads on the laces, arm L shape. We're gonna step towards our target. We're gonna turn our palms out, and we're gonna follow through at our non-dominant hip. So it should look something like that. And we're gonna practice the long pass for 5 minutes.
All right, so move you were at 15 feet before, so move yourself out a little bit further, another 15 feet out, and same target, and practice throwing the long pass for 5 minutes. Go. up. Good job on your throwing. Keep up the hard work. Let's move on to the next activity. So now you're basically doing the same thing you just did, but now you're going to see how accurate you can throw. So if you can hit your target consistently, and if you can't, figuring out what you might need to change so that you can. So you have 2 minutes to practice throwing to the target, seeing how many times you can hit the target in that 2 minutes. Go ahead and go. All right, time's up. Let's move on to the next activity. And here's a demo of me telling you what the activity is and what it looks like. And then I'll explain after you watch the demo what we're gonna do.
Okay, now we are going to do a combination task of short passing and long passing using the same throwing elements, finger pads on laces, L-shaped arm up high by your head, stepping forward towards your target, palms out, follow through, landing your arm on your non-dominant hip. The only real difference between throwing a short pass and a long pass is how much force you use and how much power. If you're throwing closer up, you don't need a strong force or power to throw to a target that is 15 feet away. But when you move further back, to like 30 feet away, you're going to need more power and more force to hit your target. So we have 4 cones. So you're going to stand behind the cone and you're going to throw some short passes, and then you're going to throw some long passes for 2 minutes, seeing how many times you can hit the target. So you want to get behind the cone, and you want to throw. And count how many times you hit your target.
So in your area, if you don't have cones, just find something that you can mark 15 feet, like 2 spots at 15 feet and then 2 spots around 30 feet. And you have 2 minutes to practice the short throw and the long throw, seeing how many times you can actually hit your target when you throw. You can go ahead and go. All right, time is up. So a closure on our review of what we learned, you should be able to identify the elements of throwing. And if someone asked you, you should be able to explain what they look like or demonstrate what they look like. And then
You can scan this QR code, and it'll take you to a website called Flipgrid, where you can videotape yourself using either your phone, or you can use a computer if you need to. Just answer our question that we have posted up on there, and videotape yourself doing the activity, and so that we can get the feedback that we need in order to make our next lesson. And for our next class, you're going to need a football again, and we'll have more information when it comes around to next week. Thank you for joining us today on our activities and our lesson for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next week.